Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing? Who have we got in the chat today? I see Martin. I see Chip. I see Michael. Mikey. I see Corn. A lot of Corn. Today I had a chat with a non-vegan friend about veganism and it went surprisingly well. Gives me hope. That is very, very nice to hear. How did the conversation go? What points did you and he make? Let me know if audio and everything is good. Hi, Bianca. Nice to see you. Vegan postmortem in the chat. I'm sorry I couldn't show up to your live stream about the formal logic, but it's very cool that you're doing that, I think. I want to show you guys something that I made last weekend with some people. I made a banner, so. Look at this. Look at it. That's cool. We had so much fun making that. Kind of therapeutic, painting and stuff. C to the H to the R to the I. You're spelling out my name like a cheerleader. Damn. Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, never mind. Then maybe I can be there, but I'll be traveling. Then that was not easy to type. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So we're going to launch the campaign on the 5th of February, which is coming up so soon. Oh my god, I'm so scared. But we already got like over 100 academics signatures for our open letter. And then we're going to launch a petition for the student body and the staff. So that's cool. Yeah, it could be a flag, a very heavy, large flag, but yes, now we're going to use it as like a table banner when we do like an outreach stall on campus. Starting February 5th. Crazy. Hi, Jeremy's in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you. Corn again. Anyway, we're going to start with our stream tradition that I've started. We're going to do Wordle at the beginning of the stream. There we go. As always, we start with the word vegan. We got an A. We got an A as not as the fourth letter. We got an A, but it's in the wrong place. In the wrong place. What else? Do your name. That's a very long name. Don't do that. Come on, guys, give me suggestions. A 5-letter word with an A. I could do apple, but the E is not in it. So that'd be a bit redundant because we know the E is not in it. So we should use other vowels. Boast. Boast is a good one. Boast is nice. Let's do boast. Okay, we got an O and an A. Acumen. Astro. Could I turn on some music? I feel like it's too quiet. Where's the music? Like, or there's a lo-fi. Wow. Allowed. Allowed could work. It also uses new letters, so that's good. Allowed. Oh my god, we got ALO. Amazing. I don't like this song. Let's do a different one. Do we like this? It's a bit slow, isn't it? Could be A-O, probably A-O something. Yeah, it's A-L-O. Aloha? Could be Aloha. It's not Aloha. Okay, we got 2 more tries. 2 more tries left to get this right, okay? What? Alone. No, because the E is not in there, so it can't be, and the N is also not in there. So, what could it be? It's not alone. It's not alone. Aloof? Could it be aloof? Do you guys think it could be aloof? I want to try aloof. Okay. Fuck yeah! Yes! I get so excited about this game. Dude. So people think that you need to sign up to play Wordle, like the New York Times, but you don't need to sign up to it. There's other games that you can also play. Like, let me see. Here on the side. I always like doing the mini crossword because that's the crossword that I know I can get. And connections is very hard. Do you guys want to play another game, or do you want to do a video reaction? Because there's some vegan content that came out today that I want to react to, but we could also just play a game for fun at the beginning of the stream. Let me know what your preference is. Connections is very hard. No, Connections, it's like this game. You have like 16 words, and they're supposed to be sorted into groups of 4, and they have something to do with each other, but you don't know what. And it's very tough to get those pairs, to get those groups of words together, because often the categories are very niche and very specific. Like today it was Monopoly tokens, and the words were like iron, top hat. You know, that was tough. Video reaction. Okay, everyone is saying video reaction. So I'll do that and turn off the music. Let me see. I will look. I know that yesterday Chip uploaded a video that I have not seen yet. We could watch that one. Tetris. I also know that Melon Steve uploaded a video. I know that Lifting Vegan Logic also uploaded a video, but that's not, I don't want to watch that on stream. And Catherine Klein, I already watched her video. Catherine Klein uploaded a video called In Defense of Bad Vegans. And she already said it would be controversial. But I kind of enjoyed it. But let me see. What would be a good one to start with? Oh, Mike, you uploaded one. Is that the one you were working on before? I'm scared to ask. Let's see. I'm not even, oh my god, Mike. I'm so sorry. I'm not even subbed to you. I didn't realize I wasn't even subscribed to you. I'm gonna subscribe and lick your video. Oh yeah, I did watch the Ruffle the Feathers one. It's 18 minutes. It's too long. It's too long, and we get the main point. It's a complicated debate, and it's just like I want to have a more lighthearted stream of it, because I do these for fun. I don't want to be sad and like you know. Yes. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I should have been subscribed ages ago. Okay, any other, like, let's start with a video that is shorter. What do you guys want? How to survive Finland as a vegan. I want that for like every country. Will be really fun. You want to watch the bad vegan video? Really? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to watch Catherine Klein's In Defense of Bad Vegans video. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, we got a couple 1s in the chat, and 2 is for no. Bianca does not want to watch it? Okay, then I guess we're gonna watch it. Okay. I don't know what you guys will think about it. But let me just then let me share my screen. You just saw it? Well, then you shouldn't have. You should have waited. Let me see. It takes a million years. Guys, it takes a million years. By the way, in this video, she shows us her new adopted dog for the first time, and he's called Mowgli, and he's so cute. He makes me so happy. Oh my god. There we go. Yeah, you're also used to rewatching stuff? Yeah, me too. Me too. Oh, Pig's Dream is here. Hello. Yeah, look, there's the dog. You can see it right
Hi, everyone. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and recorded a video, so this feels a little weird. And I actually, this little guy, his name is Mowgli, because he's our feral child.
Look at him.
He's very attached, so he's probably going to be here for the video. Say hi. Okay. Anyways, I've made videos in the past criticizing pygmy vegans, especially for their promotion of reducitarianism. I even have a video titled Why I Don't Promote Reducitarianism. So the title of this video may seem a bit jarring. I just want to say that nowhere in this video will I be attempting to justify the behavior of quote-unquote bad vegans. My argument is simply that they should call themselves vegan, and vegans should chill a little with the "you're either vegan or you're not" rhetoric. My defense of bad vegans is not of their behavior, it's of their identity. So let's back up a little and define what I mean by bad vegan. I think it's important to distinguish bad vegans from flexitarians or reducitarians.
How is the video choppy? Is it? I don't know how to fix that other than reducing the quality of it, to be honest. Hello, Kenny. Caring for animals isn't consistent with veganism, as per some extremists. That's not what she's saying, though. That's not what she's saying. It's choppy. Well, I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know. Let's see. I should close some other stuff. I'm gonna try it again, and you tell me if it's still choppy.
Flexitarian or reducitarian is someone who views veganism as a moral good, but clearly doesn't view it as a moral imperative. They think reducing their consumption of animal products is good enough. A bad vegan recognizes that veganism is a moral imperative, but they are imperfect in their consumption. The qualifier bad is an ignore in fact bad. If you've seen my past content critiquing ex-vegans and thought, Catherine cares too much about policing other people's consumption, let me tell you that is not the case. I care way more about people maintaining their identity as vegan than I do about how strictly they adhere to the vegan standard. Because when you identify as vegan, you make vegan choices at least the majority of the time, and you're more likely to get involved with animal rights activism. But when you abandon the vegan label, you slip back into complacency.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the dog in the background. Mowgli! Look at Mowgli. Look at him.
Animal rights activism. But when you abandon the vegan label, you slip back into complacency. I've been
Aw,
vegan.
there he is. Cutie. Well, those extremists are wrong. The only unvegan thing would be buying animals and supporting the breeders. True. True indeed. She is speaking words of the English language. Oh, sorry. Then I wrongly assumed that you meant that she said that. I'm sorry.
Vegan for 11 years. In the early days, I was what I'd call a bad vegan. I definitely had a close enough attitude and a willful ignorance regarding certain things. I'd be lying if I said I haven't retained a bit of this attitude to this day, but I've certainly evolved. I know y'all want examples, so here's one. I continuously let my mom buy me expensive makeup for Christmas that I knew wasn't vegan because I had bad acne and I was very attached to this particular foundation. Was it wrong? Yes. But was it wrong for me to call myself vegan? I don't think so. I was very passionate about veganism. Every school assignment where I had the freedom to choose the topic, I would choose something related to veganism. I went off on Facebook about veganism. I was the president of my campus animal rights club. I think identifying as a vegan back then is what has kept me vegan for so long, and what pushed me to eventually be like, all right, bitch, get it together. Stop making these exceptions.
All right, bitch, get it together. Love that. No, like so far, like I watched this when it premiered, like when it just when she posted this a couple hours ago. Who is this individual? This individual is Catherine Klein. She has made some videos with Natalie Fulton and with Elle from Vegan Gaze as well, but she doesn't upload very regularly. That's the thing. But I know her. Oh, this is not a very flattering shot that I. Not a very flattering shot. That's better, or is it? No, that's also not better. That's better. Okay, sorry. What I was gonna say, it's interesting, like the way like I've thought about this before about the identity as a vegan. Like I think it's much easier to stay vegan, um, if you identify as such, right? If you don't see it as just a diet, but it's like it's a whole thing. It's my life. It's my it's my duty to help animals, and then you're way more likely to like make less exceptions, be more strict about it, be more consistent, and speak to people about it, do activism, like she said. And then even if you slip up once and accidentally, if you eat something or consume something or buy something that has animal products in it and contributes to animal exploitation in some way or another, then sorry, I lost my train of thought. Do I have ADHD? I don't know. But then if you slip up, still holding the identity of vegan makes you less likely to completely leave it, you know? I'm just gonna give more examples in a bit, I think. How can you be a vegan and not identify as one? What do you mean? I don't think that's what she was saying. I identify as vegan because I am a vegan who is vegan. Yeah, great. Awesome. Hi, Leon. Nice to see you. Many people are afraid of the social backlash from carnies and don't identify as vegan because of that. Yeah, that is true. I admit I'm a bad vegan when it comes to mosquitoes in my house. Then again, this counts as self-defense. Yeah, same with mosquitoes over here. But like I gave an example from my own life in the comments, and I've spoken about this in other live streams as well, that all birth control pills contain lactose, and that I take birth control and still call myself a vegan. I don't think those two things are incongruous, you know? So that's okay, we got Louis and Michael. Yeah, that is self-defense. I mean, mosquitoes could be carrying malaria, so it is self-defense. As I fed my sister's dogs the non-vegan food she'd bought them. That's also an example. Like, if you were more strict as a vegan, you would completely reject that. You would not do that for your sister. Is identifying as a vegan the same as being a vegan? I'm sorry, but I understand gender identity. There's not so much. Because then why not say I am vegan? The argument that she's making is that it's important that people call themselves vegan even when they slip up. Like she said, if when she was like asking her mom to buy her expensive makeup that was not vegan, yes, that behavior and that action is not vegan, contributes to animal exploitation, but that doesn't mean she can't call herself a vegan anymore, basically, because she still holds the belief and she acknowledges that it's a slip up and she aims to do better. Like some people would say, oh, you're not vegan because you did that once. Like, but then if they would not be able to hold the label of vegan and were just carnist, who were like 99% plant-based, they would be more likely to slip up more often. So the identification of being a vegan is a huge contributor of how a person perceives their own actions and whether they want to continue with a certain behavioral pattern. I think that's what she's saying. I see. You're still vegan because you want to stop animal exploitation, but sometimes you just can't because of the non-vegan shitty world we live in. Sort of, but it's more. It's not just accidents. It's because she was like asking her mom to buy this non-vegan makeup for her on purpose. Like she knew it was non-vegan when she asked, and that was not just a mistake. That was a wrongful action, right? In the same way that, like, for example, the idea of like if you go to work and there's like a non-vegan treat, like someone has bought chocolates for everyone in the break room and they're just there for the taking. If you take one of those chocolates and you consume the animal product, that would make you a bad vegan because it's not a mistake, it's not an accident taking one of those chocolates, right? But it doesn't make you not vegan anymore. It makes it a slip up and a wrongful action. But I would say, and Catherine would say, that you still may identify yourself as a vegan despite that. The more important point isn't who can call themselves what, it's what keeps a world-changing movement's momentum versus what stalls it out. Yeah, please elaborate on that, Jeremy. That sounds very interesting. Mistakes happen, but if one doesn't elevate animals above their wants, it's hard for me to call them vegan. Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's like a gray area, because in the case of the chocolates in the break room, especially if no one is ever aware that you took one, you're not really directly harming anyone because you didn't buy them. They were there and no one sees you taking them, so it doesn't normalize the consumption of them. So it's like it's a gray area. Like I personally wouldn't do it, but if someone would, like once, I wouldn't say they are not vegan. It's like it's complicated. Also, there's many bizarre notions of what veganism actually means. Yeah. There's so much vegan makeup available. One really doesn't need to paint their face that badly. That's the thing. That was like 11 years ago. She's been vegan for 11 years, and she said in the first few years that she was vegan, she asked for this makeup. And she had really bad acne. It was like an insecure attachment that she had to this specific foundation, is what she said. And like 11 years ago, the makeup market did look very different than it does now. I'm caught up now. Was watching at 2x speed. I was a bad vegan. I try to do better every day, though. Yeah, I mean, I think probably in the first year or couple months that I was vegan, I probably made like small exceptions here and there. But I held, like, for me, holding on to that label of like I'm a vegan. It's part of my identity. It's something that I want to strive towards. Like, inspired me to make less of those mistakes and to be more consistent in my actions than I was before. And that having that identifier, like I'm a vegan, I think really helps people. And being part of a certain group and knowing that there's people around there to support you, It helps. In a sense, you can be a percentage slightly smaller than 100% vegan if the percentage happens very rarely and if X is small enough. Yes, technically, if you want to quantify it into a percentage. Yes. Yeah, no, that time it was different. That's what I was trying to say. Veganism is a vegan philosophy in which vegans are vegan and identify as vegan while eating, wearing, and doing vegan things and stuff. Perfect. That's exactly the definition that we're working with, obviously. But Mike, if she was aware she was doing something non-vegan, doesn't that mean she's temporarily not vegan anymore? Well, the thing is, like, I would say that she's still vegan if she acknowledges that what she did is a not vegan action, that it was not okay, that it was wrong, that she made a mistake, and that she wants to do better. That just means she slipped up and she was a bad vegan for a second and then continued being vegan like before. But I think this is all very nitpicky stuff, if I'm honest. As Catherine says here, we want many more people who have tiny deviations to proudly identify with and advocate veganism, not waste their energy policing one another. That's a good point. That's a good point. Like I've been thinking, like, what if we had like people like carnists doing activism with us in our circles, like maybe not AV because they don't allow that, but in other like doing outreach with people who do still contribute in some way to animal exploitation, right? But they do share the message as we would, as a vegan would, and like if they follow the protocol and everything, like that's a good thing though, because if they can get like other people to think about veganism and then maybe go vegan despite their own incongruity with their own behavior and their own actions, that's still valuable. But it would be confusing because I don't know. Nilf is trying to catch up. So if I would have 100 grams of meat per year, would that be different? It depends on the situation. I don't like, for example, dumpster diving, I think is a good example. Because with dumpster diving, especially if you are very poor and you're just getting by, but let's say that you do have enough money, but you decide to dumpster dive just not to contribute to capitalism or something like that, or consumption in any case, and you get it out of the dumpster and it was already like thrown away and you eat it. Would that mean that you are not vegan because you ate that? Because you didn't contribute to the production of more, but you did eat an animal body. So it really depends like where you want to put the emphasis, I would say. It's a journey. Well, it's not. That's not what I mean. Hey, Kane is here. Hello. It's not about harm. It's about actively elevating animals above mere wants, even if it doesn't directly harm anyone. It still promotes the idea that it's all right for animals to get exploited. That is fair. Like it would be 100 grams worth of difference in suffering and death, the exact same difference if someone changed from 30 kilograms a year to 30.1 kilograms a year. Yeah. No carnists on outreach. LOL, that muddies the waters and makes us look not as serious. That's the thing, though. But one of my friends, who is one of the most passionate animal advocates that I know, he studies animal ethics, right? He's doing a PhD in animal ethics. He started out doing activism with Anonymous for the Voiceless when he was not yet vegan. And when I found that out, that really changed my perspective on things because I just thought like, yeah, actually, he went vegan because he did activism with other vegans and spent time around a lot of vegans. That's what ultimately made him flip the switch and make his behavior connect with his like beliefs. You know what I mean? So then I was like, maybe it's not such a bad thing to have carnists do activism with us as long as they are clear on how they have to communicate the message, and they do it as they should, because then that just makes them more likely to actually make the switch, like happened with my friend. So it's a nuanced topic, and I am changing my views on it a bit. I can feel my views shifting a little bit after he told me that. Well, she was aware her mom was paying for her non-vegan products. Yeah, she was. Great point. About 25 years ago, we did animal rights outreach on fur issue and let a couple of people join our outreach without us making sure they are first fully plant-based. Oh, freegans in terms of like actually health issues, in terms of, or what do you mean? It doesn't matter if you don't cause more demand for a product. It's not a product. That's the point of veganism. That's fair enough. People who can afford stuff would do it voluntarily or wouldn't do it voluntarily. I know people who dumpster dive who can technically afford stuff from the grocery who prefer to dumpster dive. So that does exist. I saw another example of an activist who wasn't fully there personally yet. What do you mean? I'm not saying reducing isn't great. It is, but if you knowingly let others pay or you yourself pay for non-vegan products, isn't that a non-vegan action theoretically? Yeah, it's a non-vegan action. The action is non-vegan. That doesn't mean that the person is not vegan or cannot identify as vegan anymore. If they acknowledge that it was a bad action and they strive to do better. So that's the point that she's making. Anyway, meet the victims. Yeah, I want to go to a vigil again in the next 2 months or something. Do you guys think slavery abolitionist marches screened everyone for having zero clothing produced with slave cotton? That is fair. Because, for example, in terms of like leather and vegan leather, that looks so similar to each other that sure, you can send an activist away for wearing leather, but it barely would make a difference in terms of perception because it looks the same. You know, so it's just, yeah. I don't know how you would do that in practice. So how many actions can you do until you're no longer considered vegan? I think it's more like based in the intentions of the person. And like I said, if the person acknowledges that what they did was wrong, was a mistake, and that they want to do better after that, I would still consider them vegan. You know, so it's less on the specific actions that they've made and more on their perception of what they've done and their behavior and their life. But yeah, anyway, we'll keep watching the video.
Not such a bad vegan anymore, but I'm still shedding bad vegan habits. For example, I just recently learned that Aquaphor isn't vegan because it contains lanolin, which is made out of sheepskin or some shit. Like, you've been vegan for 11 years and you didn't know that? That is willful ignorance right there. Help me out in the comments and tell me what the best substitute for Aquaphor is, because Vaseline isn't it. Anyways, another bad vegan tendency I have is that I don't give a shit about insects. I'm not out here buying jars of honey or torturing ants for fun, but I'd be lying if I said I haven't made exceptions for things that contain honey or killed spiders in my house. I understand that it's wrong. No justification for my behavior. I'm just being honest. Having been involved in animal rights activism and an environmental nonprofit for years, I know a lot of vegans. I would say at least half of them, if not more, are bad vegans. And some of these people are serious animal rights activists. Do you honestly think it's good for the advancement of the vegan movement to insist that all of these people ditch the vegan label and identify as non-vegans instead? I'm not going to blame vegans for pushing people away from veganism, because ultimately I think the responsibility falls on the individual. But I don't think it helps to say things like, there's no such thing as an imperfect vegan. You're either vegan or you're not. I think there absolutely is a such thing as an imperfect vegan. And no, I don't just mean that we're all imperfect vegans, because nobody can avoid animal products 100% of the time. I mean there are vegans who occasionally make bad choices that fall outside of what is possible and practicable. And again, I don't condone these choices. Like I said, these are bad, condemnable choices. But I think it's better for people to retain their vegan identity so they continue to view these choices as bad, rather than lose their vegan identity, because then they'll try to justify their choices so they can retain their identity as a good person. That said, I think that bad vegans have a tendency to justify their behavior at times. Like, they recognize that their choices aren't technically vegan and see them as bad, but not that bad. For a long time, I felt little conviction for avoiding products that I was particularly attached to that contained small amounts of animal byproducts, because I fell for the boycotting is futile line of thinking. Like, does buying this product really impact the demand? It's not like animals are being killed for these specific ingredients. If we stop buying meat, dairy, and eggs, these companies will just find alternatives to these byproducts. But as it turns out, the animal agriculture industry does profit off of these byproducts, which is highlighted in the book Every 12 Seconds, an expose of the animal ag industry written by a political scientist who went undercover at a slaughterhouse. Apparently, without the sale of these byproducts, these industries would not be profitable. The prime cuts of flesh do not produce high enough profit margins on their own. I also recommend reading the paper Against Inefficacy Objections if you're unconvinced that your purchases have a real impact on demand. And when it comes to insects, their experience of suffering may not be as bad or as relatable as a cow's or pig's, but that doesn't justify exploiting and killing them for food or cosmetics, or because you're too lazy to take them out of your house. If you haven't picked up on it already, the underlying theme of this video is the power of identity when it comes to our behavior. If you've read Atomic Habits, you'll know that if you want to change your habits, you have to change your identity first. If you want to quit smoking, you better start identifying as a non-smoker. If you slip up and have a cigarette, this doesn't have to trigger an identity crisis. Likewise, eating a pastry that has a bit of dairy in it in a moment of weakness doesn't have to trigger an identity crisis. As long as you acknowledge that eating things that contain dairy isn't vegan, I don't really give a shit if you call yourself vegan. Actually, I'd prefer that you call yourself vegan. If these slip-ups are truly rare occurrences, you're vegan in my book. However, there are people I know whose standards are too lax for me to consider them vegan. But because of the power of identity, I'm not going to fight them on their choice to identify as vegan. I'll push back on their behavior, but not so much on how they label themselves. The power of identity is very evident in the behavior of carnists. It explains why ex-vegans like Bonnie Rebecca insist that they only plan to eat a small amount of fish and eggs, and then a few months later they're eating cheese and bacon. It explains why people will go out of their way to make 2 separate batches of chocolate chip cookies for the Christmas party, despite the fact that the taste is indistinguishable, and they could save time by making 1 batch of vegan cookies for everyone, because vegan cookies are for vegans, and normal cookies are for normal people.
That is such a good point, I think. Like, when I heard it the first time, I was like, yeah, that is why people do that. It's because of identification. Right? Like, because I remember, like, not last Christmas, the Christmas before that, my mom did make, like, 2 of everything. Or, like, made separate dishes for me because that is vegan food, not normal food, right? We have the normal food. You have the vegan food. Because, like she said, vegan food is for vegan people, normal food is for normal people. That's how people, that's how they see it. That's, like, the identity part of it. Identity is powerful. I don't think I have very clever commentary on this, honestly. I don't think I'm at my best today. If I'm honest, Martin is proud to be a vegan and never slip up. Great, cool. Not everyone can be like that, unfortunately. Jamie Woodhouse from Sentientism made this observation really well. People don't make point-by-point choices between vegan burgers and flesh burgers. They choose the one that's labeled for them. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, identity is used in marketing as well, very strongly. That's why, like, meat is marketed as for men, so men feel more inclined to buy the meat because it's for them, right? Or specific clothes, specific, like, beauty products, shampoos, soaps, anything really. The problem with these slip-ups are intentional, not accidental, in my opinion. It can send the message that sometimes it's okay. It depends. Like we're not acknowledging. Like we're acknowledging that the action is wrong, and the person should acknowledge that the action is wrong, and strive to do better and stop making those slip-ups. Right? We're not condoning that to happen in people. We're not saying, oh, it's okay if you do it only sometimes. That's not really what she's saying here. When I would visit my parents for Thanksgiving, they would have a vegan Thanksgiving. Then when I went home, they would have a normal Thanksgiving. Yeah, I mean that's better than my parents would do. So I haven't gotten my family will not eat entirely plant-based for one day. They will not do it. Like they just won't. Like I asked them, "Hey, when I visit you guys, could you like if I cook everything for you, could you eat plant-based for a day?" And they said, "No. We can only do a vegan dinner. That's it." It's like it's so sad. I will concede the point that we are constantly learning, and that's why my handle is turning veganese. Every day I learn something new, but once I learn it, I change my behavior accordingly. True. I do think that's like the ideal is you change as you go, change as you learn more. But some people like it's a habit that you need to break. Sometimes you may slip up because you're still building the habit, right? But that's because when I went vegan at first, I think the first couple months. So before I was vegan, I was eating the same breakfast cereal every day. And when I became vegan, I thought it was vegan. So I kept eating it. But once I looked at the label a couple months in and I realized, oh, there's 0.5% honey in this. And I was very bummed because they could easily just switch that with like agave or maple syrup or something or another sweetener. Very sad. But it took me a bit to let go of that cereal because I was so used to having that every single morning, right? I did change as I learned, but it took me some effort and some, energy and just changing your thought process around it. Because with 0.5% of honey, you're much easier, like you're much more inclined to think like, oh, that doesn't make any difference. It's only 0.5%, right? But it does make a difference. So it's like a hurdle. It's like a thought process that you need to overcome. I agree with you. I just think that while you're doing that action intentionally, you're not vegan. So it means you're vegan before and you're vegan after. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair. I would say, okay, that's interesting. But then, but then you would be that's weird though. I guess you would be vegan for, but you would not be vegan for like 30 minutes and then you continue being vegan. Okay. And obviously, because we live in a dystopian carnist nightmare, there are instances of animal use that even vegans can't avoid 100%. Like, for example, medicines tested on animals, unfortunately. But this doesn't excuse purposefully doing something wrong. No, I agree. I agree. But the thing is, like, if a vegan slips up and intentionally buys something, like, for example, a pastry that they thought was vegan, or even if they saw like it barely has any dairy or it has like what is it like whey powder or something in it, and they didn't know in a moment of weakness, right, and they were desperate for something to eat and they grabbed it without really thinking about it and it was wrong. But if they told that to another friend of theirs and the friend was like, oh, that's wrong, oh, you're not vegan anymore, you suck, like if they start being chastised for that action and then they are encouraged not to identify as vegan anymore, they're more likely to go back to labeling themselves as a carnist and entirely go back to eating like steaks and hot dogs and what have you, right? So that's what Catherine is talking about in terms of identity, is if we are so preoccupied with judging each other and chastising each other about actions like this that are wrong but are like small in this large scheme of things, right? then it only has a bad influence on the people who made those mistakes, and it makes them more inclined to go back to eating all animal products again. Small details. I wouldn't say anything to anyone slipping up, intentional or not, but I would also not broadcast that we should be more lenient to those intentional actions. Yeah, so that's also the thing with this video, because it could have like the effect of this video could go both ways. So that's why I'm a bit iffy on it. I'm not sure. Family tends to be the most difficult people to compel to live vegan. To her amazing credit, my mom went vegan with not much information I provided her. That's really cool. I wish. I fucking wish. Well, you would not be vegan from the moment you think it's okay to pay for the animal-based product, or from the moment you choose to ignore the issue, and up until you swear to not do it again. Right. My girlfriend is vegetarian and gets annoyed with me because I'm strict and never slip up. Is your girlfriend vegetarian trying to be vegan? Or do you call her, like, what kind of slip ups does she have? Like, what does she do? I thought Pillsbury rolls were vegan friendly, and I had some. Turns out they're not, so stay away. I've never had Pillsbury. What are those? What are those? The difference between people who've only ever known you as vegan versus those who knew you well before is huge. Yeah. I think I don't have any. No, actually, no, I don't. I don't have any non-vegan friends. Like, basically zero, which is interesting. I'm in a bubble, you guys.
I had a vegan friend confess that she had fallen off the wagon while she was pregnant because her cravings were so strong. And while I don't condone giving into cravings for animal products, I honestly didn't have the visceral reaction I get when people tell me that they're no longer vegan because their cravings were a clear sign that they needed meat. The difference between saying, I've been a bad vegan, I need to get back on track, and I'm not vegan anymore is paramount. The first person still has conviction, while the second person has lost it. Identifying as vegan, even when you sometimes fail to adhere to the vegan standard, helps you maintain conviction. I can hear your response already. But veganism has a definition, and if you don't fit that definition, you're not vegan. I get it. I'm not suggesting that we change the definition of veganism. I'm just saying that we should consider the fact that humans are flawed, and that no one is perfectly consistent with their moral principles. If someone believes lying is wrong and is admitted to being honest, but tells a white lie every once in a while, would you call that person a liar? You might find total adherence to the vegan standard easy, but others do not. I think it comes down to differences in personality. Some people thrive with rigidity, while others, I would say most people, require a don't let perfect be the enemy of the good mindset to stay on track. Some level of gatekeeping is fair. We can't just accept that anyone who calls themselves vegan is vegan, otherwise the word loses meaning. Someone who eats plant-based but shamelessly buys wool and leather and goes to the zoo is obviously not vegan. You have to believe in the principle that animal exploitation is wrong. Not only that, but you have to avoid participating in it. But if you believe animal exploitation is wrong and generally avoid participating in it, but occasionally fail to live up to your principles, I think from a practical standpoint, it's better that you identify as a vegan than a non-vegan. Does that mean you can treat yourself to a nice steak once a year and call yourself vegan? No. I think that if a person is truly vegan, things like steak do not register as food. But things like bread and granola bars, while they may contain dairy or honey, still do because they're mostly plant-based. It's easier for the brain to compartmentalize and make exceptions for things that aren't so in your face, like a literal hunk of flesh. Again, I'm not saying that a little bit is okay. Have the donut, who cares? I'm just saying we don't need to take away someone's vegan card if they admit that they don't always make the right choices. If you think that I'm not a real vegan based on what I've said here, you can think that. But I'm gonna keep calling myself vegan, advocating for animal rights, doing political activism for animals, and avoiding animal products 99.9% of the time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very interested to see the response because I don't think this is an unpopular opinion, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, final thoughts. Guys, final thoughts. Your girlfriend only eats eggs, otherwise she would be vegan, although she said she would never be vegan as we're all too extreme. That's interesting. She, like, the only animal product she eats is eggs. But then, like, her diet is basically 99% the same as a vegan diet, except for the eggs. How is like the 1%, how is that little difference extreme? That doesn't make any sense. That's weird. Your girlfriend's weird. I get her point of view to not be strict for people trying to be vegan. We can encourage them, but I think the vegan title should not apply to them, but rather vegan wannabes. Vegan wannabe sounds sounds funny. If you wanna be my vegan, you gotta get with my friends. Oh my god, I could make a song out of that. Oh no. You know who's been dealing with this very kind of question for a long time? The Catholic Church. um, she's making some good points. They're definitely toxic holier than thou vegans out there. Yeah, I have noticed that. But what's the difference between a bread with some dairy in it and meat? Like, if you know there's animal products in it, there's intent to buy animal product food. Well, the point that she's making is because it's only a part of the entire product, like in bread, where there might be like a little milk in there. It's not the entire product because the product is mostly plant based, except for the milk, for example. So it's easier to compartmentalize. That's why it's harder to let go. I think that's the point she's making. What does it mean to hate sin, still sin, and truly confess versus embracing sin and using confession as a fake excuse? And that's where the gray area really gets complicated because who is to say? That is true, and she's not condoning the action of buying bread with milk in it. She's just saying that it's easier to compartmentalize, and that's why people slip up in that direction sometimes. Your girlfriend is weird. I hope you like her though. I hope you don't get into too many fights about this because for me, I don't think I could date carnist, a vegetarian, especially if like a vegetarian were so close-minded about it, because like, a vegetarian saying that veganism is extreme is so funny to me because it's almost the same in terms of behavior and consumption. It's very close. That little difference is extreme. How? For some reason, my former favorite breakfast cereal has sheep stuff in it. What sheep stuff in cereal? What? Yeah, we never fight. Oh, well, that's rare. Interesting. If you do it without registering, like, oh shit, I knew this product has weight in it, but I accidentally bought it without realizing, it comes back to intent again. That is true. Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, Chip. I understand that. I'd not seen this video, so I'm glad you did this particular video review. Thank you, Louis. By the way, is it Louis or Louis? I think it's Louis, but I'm not sure. Just correct me. But vitamin D from melanin in cereal. Is that what the sheep thing is? Is melanin, do they take the melanin from a sheep? Don't know. Let's see. What did I want to watch after this? Oh, it's Louis. Okay, Louis. That's what we got. I'm gonna check the videos that came out today. What do we have here? Oh, we're gonna watch a Natalie Fulton video, guys. I love Natalie Fulton. She just put out a new dog meat video. I love dog meat outreach. It's so fun. gonna put this to load. Give me a second. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit. Do you know a natural vegan? Not to watch now, but like in general. She's awesome. That's gonna be a controversial opinion in this chat. I think there's a couple people here who do not like a natural vegan at all. For me, it really depends. Like for me, it really depends video to video whether I like her stances on things. Um, on, please. There we go. Yeah, she's not super strict, but in the way that matters, in my opinion. Yeah, see, a friend I was saying unnatural vegan is the worst. Natural vegan, ew. Yeah, no, I don't have a very strong opinion on her. Either way, oof, a natural vegan. See, Jeremy likes her. I know that Jeremy likes her. I like some of her videos and some of them I don't. But it's just like maybe it's like a personality thing. Maybe I just don't vibe with her personality either. Not sure. Yeah, she does use a lot of studies and evidence and stuff, especially in the terms of nutrition. I like her videos. Let's see. I just listened to Natalie's Outreach audiobook, would recommend it. I like skimmed it. I haven't listened to it, but I skimmed it, and it's like very, very nice. It's really cool what she's doing, I think. Anyway, we're gonna try watching this video. I hope it doesn't, like, I hope it works. I'll just
Yeah, so
is this, I don't know.
need to go back to the beginning. Please, please, God. She's cute, let's be honest. Are we? Okay, we're hitting on a natural vegan now. What was her name again? I forgot her name. It was like Swayze, right? Swayze, like Patrick Swayze. That's an interest. I've never heard that name before as like a first name. Interesting. I don't really care about all the reviews of prepared vegan foods very much, but even those are probably really good for picky eaters who can't cook. Yeah, like the food that she makes is very like realistic in terms of like it's kid friendly and stuff. I do like that.
today I'm at the University of Chicago handing out samples of delicious dog meat. Okay, it's actually my favorite vegan jerky. We're going to see if students will happily chomp on pug bacon, or if they'll be speciesists and say it's wrong to eat dogs but okay to eat pigs and cows, even though there's no moral difference. Fresh local dog meat, humane certified. Hello, do you want to try some dog meat?
No, I was just wondering, like, what are you guys doing? Because I saw yesterday you were doing the breast milk thing.
Yeah,
So is this, I don't know, a social experiment or like what's?
No. So we're an ethical meat and dairy company. So the breast milk yesterday was from consensual women. So that's why that was ethical. This is ethical because the dogs are happy on the farm. They have great lives. They get kisses and cuddles.
Oh.
We're against industrial animal agriculture because the animals are, tortured every day. So we wanted to provide an ethical meat alternative for people who love the flavor of dead animals but aren't willing to compromise giving them up. So do you want to try some dog meat? Do you want to try bulldog bacon or retriever ribs?
Let's do the bacon.
All right. One bulldog bacon coming up.
I mean, I don't really like jerky, but
Okay.
Wait, let me rewind because those ribs looked really real. That's
Today I'm at the University.
I was just wondering, like, what are you guys doing? Because I saw yesterday you were doing the breast milk thing.
Yeah,
So is this, I don't know, a social experiment or like what's?
No. So we're an ethical meat and dairy company. So the breast milk yesterday was from consensual women. So that's why that was ethical. This is ethical because the dogs are happy on the farm. They have great lives. They get kissed.
okay, but where was the ribs? These are the ribs.
love the flavor of dead animals, but aren't willing to compromise giving them up. So do you want to try some dog meat? Do you want to try?
It's not very well visible here. Let's see. Where are the ribs then? They said that this is the jerky, I would guess. I don't know.
Bulldog bacon or retriever ribs?
Let's do the bacon.
All right.
Bulldog bacon.
One bulldog bacon coming up.
I mean, I don't really like jerky, but
Oh, okay.
as far as jerky goes, it's nice.
Okay. So dog jerky, about the same as maybe dead cow jerky or whatever. All right. So I appreciate that you are morally consistent, that you're willing to eat dogs. I assume you're a meat eater. Excuse me?
Excuse me? Oh, okay. That's a stock video. Right. Now her delivery is very deadpan. It's quite interesting. But the way she was I just have to laugh because she says like I appreciate that you're being morally consistent right now. And I'm like, is that the first thing you say to someone? Like if I'm doing dog meat outreach, that's not the first thing I say to someone who just like ate what she thought was dog. That's kind of weird, right? Most people don't really know what morally consistent even means. So it's a bit of weird first statement in my opinion, but funny though. Never had jerky. I've had jerky before. I don't like it. It's too salty. It's like a weird texture. I don't like it. So weird. Yeah, it would be so weird to buy chocolate and somebody told me you're morally consistent. Nice choice. You're like, what the fuck? Interesting.
I assume you're a meat eater.
Yes, I am.
All right. And I'm curious, like, do you think animals should be included in our circle of moral concern?
This is not, I mean, maybe this is not how I would speak to people at all. In like her tone is great. That's not what I'm talking about, but terms like moral consistency, circle of moral concern, like people will pretend to know what that means, but most people will not have an understanding about what that means. So to me it feels so weird and unnatural to just spin that into conversation. My favorite is when the Beyond Jerky is the same price next to the murdered cow counterpart. Yeah. Kenny asks what's my favorite food. I don't know what my favorite food is, to be honest. I'm gonna be very basic and say like I like pizza. What else? I like anything with tofu and noodles is very nice. I have no idea what my favorite food is, guys. I genuinely don't know. It's not weird at all. It's bringing the girl along on the road to truth. I'm not saying that what Natalie is saying is inaccurate or something, but it's just not the way that I would bring it. She said, at university campus, I know I've done outreach at my university. Most students would not know that term. They would pretend to know it if you talk to it, if you mention it in a conversation, but they wouldn't have an understanding of what that like actually means. Like, I'm just thinking of myself when I first went vegan. If someone would have approached me and said moral consistency, circle of moral concern, I would be like, what? You know? Fair enough. I'm also a college-educated woman, but the only reason that I know these terms is because of veganism. So that's why I'm a bit, like, skeptical about using it, like, generally speaking with people. Anyway, that's a personal preference for me, I guess.
Oh, so I don't think my personal take is I don't think animals should be on the same level as humans. I think they should be on the same level as nature. I think nature has, nature does have its rights, and we should be protecting nature, but not to the same extent as humans, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think maybe if we had kind of a the trolley problem.
Yeah.
So let's say we have a human here and we have an animal here. Yeah. We could justify.
By the way, is Natalie still in the role of like dog meat farmer here? Because I feel like she stepped completely out of that. Like, I also catch myself doing this and talking to people as a vegan instead of as the role that I'm taking on as the dog meat farmer or seller or whatever. And people really figure it out quite quickly. That's like, oh, this is not real because of the way that you're speaking to them. If you want them to actually fall for what you're doing, you need to stay in that role for longer. I don't know if she is doing this on purpose or if the girl found out before that it wasn't real. I'm not sure. All my life, I wish people would stop me on the street to talk morality. I was always into it, I guess. That's fair. That's fair. I think the majority of people are not and are not acquainted with these terms. So she gradually morphs into the animal advocate role. But it's been like, what? Not even 2 minutes, and she's already speaking like a vegan, like explaining the trolley problem to a stranger when she's pretending to sell dog meat. So it's confusing to me. Like, which role is she in right now? Only had one soy jerky I was obsessed with. Veg of food. Then they changed the recipe and made it suck. What, did they remove the amount of salt or something? Like, what did they change about the recipe? It's unfortunate. Like, I hate it when vegan brands or brands in general change the recipe. There's been so many. There's these chocolate sprinkles, hagelslag in the Netherlands, which you put on bread, which is like a traditional. You put it on bread on a sandwich, and most brands like before didn't have any milk powder or something in them, but then they changed the recipe and they added milk powder for no fucking reason, and I was so upset. And now I can't get chocolate sprinkles anymore. I'm so sad about my chocolate sprinkles, guys. Maybe native English speakers know the terms. It's like I wouldn't like she just walked up to this girl just walked up to her. I wouldn't assume that a complete stranger whom I know nothing about knows these terms and has an understanding of them. So that's just me. The Dutch and their sprinkles. I know, right? And the ultra dry bread. Dutch bread sucks, and I know it sucks. Okay, don't come at me. I didn't make the bread. Okay, I didn't do it. But maybe I can show you guys what I mean with, because most people will not know what hagelslag is, but it's a very Dutch thing. So I'm going to show you pictures, okay? We're interrupting this stream of Natalie Fulton's video to show you chocolate sprinkles, also known as hagelslag, in the wonderful country that is the Netherlands. There you go. This, my friends, is hagelslag. You have it on bread and call it lunch. Like, seeing it from any other country's perspective, it's fucking weird, okay? But it's awesome. I just need to find a brand that doesn't use fucking milk powder, because they didn't used to, but now they do. But sometimes you eat them on this amazingly ultra dry bread that hurts your teeth just taking a bite out of them. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Man, I love it. Amazing stuff. Anyway, back to business as usual. Ugh.
Killing the animal instead of the human. But let's say there's a third option, whereas where you kill no one.
Yeah.
Is it better to kill human, animal, or no one?
Well, it's better to kill no.
Sure. So you do recognize that even though you don't value animals as high as humans, you don't need to value them as high as humans in order to not kill them, right?
Yeah.
So when you talk about nature and what happens in nature, what we do to animals has nothing to do with nature. They're artificially inseminated, selectively bred by the billions, confined, mutilated, tortured, and killed by giant machines and slaughterhouses. Do you think?
I bought Snickerdoodle mix that I could have sworn was vegan and then wasn't. Yeah. No, that happened to me like 2 weeks ago. Or like, was it last week? I don't remember. When I went to the store because I was cooking for my family. I hadn't seen my parents in months. I don't really speak to them, but they were coming over for my grandma's birthday, and I had offered to cook chili for everyone. So I went to the store, got all the ingredients. I got the biggest bag of nachos that I could find. I grabbed it, bought it, realized it was like nacho with cheese powder. So it was not vegan, and I realized that. And I just gave it to my family because, like, hey, there's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna eat this. I don't know if it's better to throw it away, but like, you can have it. You're gonna eat nachos anyway, so here you go. And just like, I didn't condone it. Like, I don't want to buy it again. Obviously, I felt really bad about that. But it's tough with those sorts of situations. Like, do you throw it away? Do you give it? Like, I would have probably given it to a food bank otherwise. But anyway, that sucks. There was this brand of milk chocolate sprinkles I used to eat before I went vegan. Looked into it a few years ago, and it was accidentally vegan. But it's not vegan anymore. Fuck. The milk chocolate sprinkles, I like the pure ones, the dark ones, better than the milk chocolate sprinkles. My favorite vegan chocolate is the Lindt one from their Hello brand line that they have. They have this like chocolate, like sea salt caramel one. It's amazing. Love it. It's not enough to just check. You gotta keep checking. Yeah. Sometimes they change the recipe, and if they don't put that on the packaging, that sucks. But I don't know how that's even allowed. Like, especially also for lactose intolerant people, right? Like, it should be legally it should be illegal to just change a recipe without notifying the consumer of that, right? Or is that okay? Because that seems super weird to me. More checking than freaking last time. Arenas is delusionally confused, telling me that utilitarianism is about immediate consequences and deontology is about long-term consequences. That doesn't make any sense. What? Okay. Weird. They need to make it less expensive. The Lindt oat milk chocolate, yeah, I know. I still buy it anyway. It's my little treat. You know, it's a little treat to myself. Ecoplaza has vegan hagelslag. Okay, because I never go to Ecoplaza because it's not close to my house. But I should because I want that hagelslag. I need it. What up, Jill? Tell me how to pronounce your name, please.
I think that's like the laws of nature, or
I mean, it's obviously not the loss of nature. I think the entire meat industry has been way too industrialized, and it's no longer about, well, a lot of it is not about human sustenance. It's more about, I don't know, industrializing something.
Most things are not about human sustenance. Are you kidding? What? Oh, hi, Gary. I didn't see you. Albert Heijn also has some? I don't think any. I've checked all of them at Albert Heijn. I don't think they have one. But yeah, so she's saying like, oh, we're not doing things for human sustenance anymore. Everything's industrialized. But like, yeah, that's true. But like, most things are not done for human sustenance. Most things are superfluous in terms of consumption. So I don't know what point she is making, but okay.
Thing that was once kind of more farm life related and everything.
But let's say it was natural. Do you think we should base our morality on what happens in nature?
Well, that's a difficult question. I'm not really sure. I mean, I personally, so I don't have anything against eating animals from a moral perspective. I have more against it in terms of an environmental perspective because I think the meat industry is harming the environment a lot.
It definitely is. It's one of the leading causes of climate change.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm more coming from a climate change perspective here.
But you did agree that killing no one.
Plant-based universities. I'm gonna get the banner again. Wait, give me a second. I'm getting the banner. You can't see anything. Plant-based universities and the climate crisis. Wonderful. Just wanted to show off that banner again. But yeah, I think that's why most people, like a lot of students, would be pro like plant-based diet or pro plant-based food system from an environmental perspective. So that's interesting. And that's the way to institutional change, which is what plant-based universities is doing. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway, Bro is protesting her own stream. What do you mean? Vegan spangled banner, I know, is great. Oh, it's Gil like Gilbert. Okay, so it's Gil. It's Gil. Now I know. Now I know. People agree with almost everything because they can tell it's the right answer. True. It's not so interesting when the questions are so leading, but I suppose it's informative to the actual person there. So I guess phrasing questions in a way like this, it's kind of, I guess, secretly giving them some information without making it so preachy. Like framing it as a question makes it less preachy because it's framed as a question, not as a statement, when it's still giving the same information that you would have otherwise given. But I agree. Like maybe it's better to make the questions less leading than this. But I think that Natalie is doing really well just by asking questions in general. Like I think they should ask more questions. I think in outreach that's really, really powerful in conversations like this.
Was better than killing animals. So there's some sort of moral component there, whether you maybe explicitly say it's moral or not. By virtue of agreeing that it's better to harm no one, then it would therefore be better to not harm animals, right?
Well, I don't think that's,
Given the choice.
well, if you have the choice to
Right.
no one, it is obviously better to harm no one.
Okay, great.
And then the next question is, do you have the choice to not do this harm? I wonder what her answer would be. That's also a very leading question, by the way, but I would like to see her answer that.
So do people like you and me and others surrounding us, I'm excluding obviously people who hunt for survival,
Yeah.
do we have the choice?
It depends on where you live. You don't have the choice everywhere.
Let's say you live in Chicago or any other city in the US.
I think in the US you do have the choice.
Okay, so you live in the US?
I do, but
So you acknowledge it's a choice for you, right?
yeah.
Okay, so
Wonderful. Wonderful. This girl's being honest, I feel like. That's great. This is the best would you rather question. Would you rather harm animals for food or nobody at all? Yeah, because that's like one of the questions that you asked, I think, it was would you rather harm humans? Would you rather harm animals, harm humans and animals, or harm neither? That was also a good would you rather question, but it's a bit long, so I think this is probably better. Yes, but you made me choke on my own voice. That's crazy. Guys, it's the winter. Not everyone's doing well. I'm not sick, but I start coughing very quickly when I laugh in the past month. I don't know if that's probably not a good sign, but I don't know what it is. Sorry. You're welcome.
since it's a choice for you and you've agreed that killing no one is better than killing animals, which choice do you think is more moral?
Well, killing no one is more moral, but also, if I were to go on a strictly no meat diet,
And I would still want to get all of the sustenance, all of my grocery bills would maybe.
Now, every time I hear the word sustenance, I think about sucking on quinoa for sustenance from my Katie Hopkins song. It's the Holocaust. You eat a cow, it's the Holocaust. And they lie. They will only suck on quinoa for sustenance. They lie to you. Now that the word sustenance is forever like tied to that sentence in my brain. Unfortunately. I don't do well in winter. I just have to survive February. The vegan diet is making me sick. Get wrecked, vegans. Vegans. I read it as vagina. That's probably not what you mean. Is everyone taking enough D3? Let me check, actually. I don't know. Is there D3 in these supplements? Aha. 10 micrograms of D3 in here, so I must be fine. These are vitamin gummies that I love, by the way. That song slaps. Yeah, it does. It also gets stuck in my head now. Ma, ma, ma. Amazing. No, I'm not dirty-minded. It was just spelt in a weird way. It's like the whole thing. Do you know that like weird that those like Quora questions where someone asks like, when do you know you were pregnant? Pregnant, like misspelling pregnant the whole time. That's so funny to me. I want to wreck a vagina. No. What are you? Naughty. This is not the stream for that. We're not doing that today. By the way, I meant protesting because you suddenly interrupted your own stream by standing up. I know. I was only showing it just because I'm proud of it. But yeah. 69,420 milligrams of these nuts every day. I can't stop listening to that song. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't think now I'm kind of thinking like I will never surpass that level of success, you know. I'll never make something better than my Katie Hopkins song. It's legend status now. It's my most viewed video on my whole channel. And it's like a shit post. Like why am I making actual videos if I could make shit posts and get more views from that? Anyway, no, I like making normal videos. It's fine. 50 micrograms of D3 per day. The Dutch sun is a dick. Never there when you need it. I know. And I also don't go outside as much as I should, if I'm honest. I get most of my sunlight from like doing activism outside. I think that's the only reason I really go outside other than to do groceries and to cycle to class. Those are the three things that I'm outside for. Not that dicks are not there when you need them. I'm sure they are. Chip, is there something you're trying to tell us? Your landlord's dog. Oh, you're walking your landlord's dog. Cool. Is he cute? Is it a cute dog? Shitposts work best for algorithm. The algorithm. Postmortem, your recent streams looked fun, but I've never been free at the time. Oh, also nice face. Nice face sounds such a sarcastic. Sounds like a sarcastic insult. Like, "Ay, nice face, you nice face." Oh, tú vives en España. Qué pena. Que yo no podría vivir allí. Anyway, no, it's like there's no sunlight here, and I also have like a, I don't know, what direction is this? Like a north-facing window? Like there's sunlight never comes through my window because the sun comes up back there and it goes down like over there and it never hits into my room. So I never get sunlight in my room either. So I should just go outside more. I think that's the moral of the story. But I'm a hermit, I guess. Are people shooting fireworks outside? They are. What the fuck? It's been... New Year's was like a month ago. What is happening? Can you guys hear that? Probably not. Oh, God. Gunfire. No, I think it's not. Is it? I hope it's not gunfire. A nice face you got there, bud. With a Boston accent. I don't think I can do a Boston accent. Hey, nice face. Nice face you got there, bud. I can't do it. I'm just embarrassing myself. You gotta open the curtains first. I do open my curtains every day, mind you. I do. Don't roast me. Okay? I am from the UK, now in Brisbane. It's nearly 30 degrees here. It's 7 a.m. Oh my god. It's gonna be just like that here in summer. Like in the Netherlands, we always have very dry, very, very hot summers, and it's gonna suck. Like both the winters and the summers suck. Spring is the best season, I feel like. I think spring is my favorite season. fall is too wet, winter is too cold, and summer is too hot. Spring is just right. Maybe someone's birthday. That could be it. I don't know. Sometimes they fire it from a restaurant. It seems to be used for weddings. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. That could be it. 42 degrees Celsius. Jesus Christ. I would melt in a second. Anyway, there's fireworks going off in your bedroom. Just not how I imagined it. It's not metaphorical, it's not figurative, it's like entirely literal. There are fireworks going off in my bedroom. Oh, God.
double.
Sure. So there was a study that came out of Oxford that showed that plant-based diets on the whole are 30% cheaper than omnivore diets in Western countries where we are.
Hitting her with the facts, hitting her with the data. Okay? I love how Natalie just went, yes, but insert study here. I would probably, like, if I were the one being outreached to, I would feel so dismissed if someone was just quoting studies at me. But you gotta correct misinformation, you know? So I understand why she's doing that. Yes, but insert study here. Love it. Love that.
We are. Yeah, sure. If you look just at Beyond Meat versus ground beef, although there is ground beef more expensive than Beyond Meat,
Yeah.
maybe your bill would be a little higher, but the cheapest foods at the grocery store are vegan naturally. You know, beans, rice, potatoes, lentils,
Beans. Beans in the chat, everyone. Much love for beans. We love beans over here. Not like Peter Coffin, who thinks that vegans will replace everyone's diet with only soybeans if we stop eating animal products, because that's what vegans do. We only eat soybeans, right? But yeah, beans with a Z or Z in the chat. Love it, love it, love it. I would go, would you be surprised to find out that being vegan is actually cheaper on average? That's more like, it's a question. See, a question is always better. And then you explain. But like if someone gives their opinion, like, I think it's more expensive, and then you go, yes, but study, that's a bit dismissive of their perspective. So I would say, yeah, I understand, and maybe you've had like blah, blah, blah. Meat alternatives are expensive, but would you be surprised that a whole foods plant-based diet could be cheaper? And then cite the study after that. Like, that's just a different way to do it. Not that Natalie's way of activism is bad at all. It's amazing. She's doing great. Yeah, we got some peas in the chat. We got beans. We got some green beans. More beans. A soybean mono diet. Perfect. You're becoming cheeky again. Are you? I love seeing you cheeky. Anyway.
peas, all of that stuff is naturally vegan. So you would, if you wanted to save money, veganism is actually an argument in favor of that.
Yeah.
So taking away cost, then what would stop you from not harming animals when you don't have to?
I mean, if there was
a meat alternative that does kind of taste the same, feel the same, and
Sure.
is of the same price point, like I don't feel the need to eat an animal.
Got
It's
it.
more like it's just, I don't know. It's part of how I was socialized. Like most of the recipes
Right.
I know are meat centric because I'm Hungarian and our
Sure.
entire diet is based on meat. So it's more
Yeah.
that
Every
that's how-
Okay, so this girl's kind of debunking herself. She's like, it's not that I need meat. I just need something similar to it because it's my culture. It's like how I socialize with people. It's the recipes that I know. It's what I'm used to. It's a habit. And habits can be changed. And she's debunking herself. This is really nice. This is really good. Carnists do not know beans exist. You could dress up as a bean and no one would be able to see you, like a vegan invisibility cloak. It's like people who's like carnists who are like, but what do you eat? What do vegans eat? Like literally everything you eat except for these three things, basically. Like it's milk, dairy, meat. I count fish as part of meat, to be honest. Basically those things in the food sphere of things. So it's like everything else. We eat everything else. Dude. But yeah, that's funny. I would like a vegan invisibility cloak. I could just steal beans whenever I want. Vegans eat air. We're breatharians. Exactly.
Culture, their
That's how I
entire diet's based
know-
on meat.
Yeah, it's like that's what I know to cook.
Totally. Do you think that when we're navigating life, I was also raised eating meat, only knowing how to cook meat.
Yeah.
Do you think that we should base our moral system on how we were raised?
Well, we shouldn't base our moral system, and I am trying to do better. I'm just
Okay.
saying I cannot switch overnight. It's more of a process of trying to phase out meat and then trying to find alternatives.
Sure. And what we're doing
I
here is
agree.
we're highlighting that, we understand that it may be a process for some people, but as long as it takes you to go vegan, animals are going to be tortured until you make that choice. And that's, unfortunately the reality of the situation. We don't want to sugarcoat anything. So that's why we're kind of highlighting this issue, because
Everyone has a choice when they go to grocery stores,
Yeah.
right? You can either pay for more animal suffering or try not to contribute to animal
Yeah.
suffering.
and I do want to emphasize that veganism isn't just a diet.
Guys, I just realized the stop sign behind her. Stop eating animal products. Stop. I know people who do stickering and just add a little sticker under that. Stop eating meat or stop eating animal products. Stop exploiting animals or something like that. Unfortunately, it gets removed, but I like it. I like that kind of stickering activism. Stop. Just stop. But beans make me fart when I introduce them into my zero fiber body. Yeah, no, it's true. Most Americans are very, very fiber deficient. They do not eat enough fiber. People talk about, oh, B12, oh, vegans are deficient in this and that. What about fucking fiber? You guys don't eat any fiber. Your gut microbiome is struggling right now. It's struggling. Literally, if animal products weren't available, most people would eat whatever. Yes to vegan world, but in the meanwhile, the whatever food should be plant-based. Yeah. I'm phasing out a portion of my slave workforce, so I empathize with her. Oh, right, because you were not an abolitionist, right? Abolitionism is too extreme, obviously. The thing about it being a process, I don't know that it is, right? Once you no longer want to pay for abuse, you stop paying. You slip up from time to time, it comes back to intent again. Yeah. Mostly I agree, but I don't want to speak too much. Like, I mostly went vegan overnight, except for those slip ups that I mentioned with like the cereal and stuff. But basically within the span of a week, I had changed all my previous animal products. I changed to vegan plant-based product. And I did because I made the decision and I decided to switch. But I think most people cannot do that or don't. I don't want to like underestimate people or anything, but I think most people who went vegan and most vegans I know didn't switch to vegan overnight. You know what I mean? React to Mike the Vegan. He just released a video reacting to Katie Hopkins. Did he react to my song as well? or not? That's amazing. I love Mike the Vegan. He's great. Ugh. Yes, Beano is vegan friendly. Farts though debunked. Farts though is my favorite argument. Right? Farts are so stigmatized in society, okay? It's a normal human process. Why are we so ashamed of our farts? Sorry. I'm so angry that Raisin Bran isn't vegan. What is Raisin Bran? I have no idea what that is. Could it be that people like called it a process, didn't really understand the problem? Like, could it be a marker that they need to talk more? I don't know, just ask any people who went, like any vegans that you know, ask them how they went vegan, how long it took them to go vegan. Because a lot of people may understand what is wrong about the animal products. It just takes longer for them to change their habits, right? I have friends whom it took longer and who, yeah, I know Jeremy had something like that. If Jeremy's still in the chat, maybe he could attest to his experience. YHA? This will be your only... Oh, okay. Okay, so YHA is doing something. What are you doing? What's happening? I'm not up to date on this. I'm not sure what you mean. People almost never change behavior the very moment they understand a reason for it. Yeah, I agree with that. I think in most cases, people don't change overnight. I think people with environmentalism and motivation are often trying to transition to kind of more understandable than for ethical concerns. Yeah, it's more like motivation does make a difference in terms of how quickly they change their behavior, but it's still behavior change takes time for most people. Most people can't do it overnight. Letting those mod powers go to his head. Yeah, no, we don't want trolls in this chat, so you better behave. YHA, you better behave. Rather intent. If they still intend to buy animal products. Well, it's more complicated than just intent because it's a habit. Right? Sometimes you buy stuff without really thinking about it because you've always bought that stuff. Sure, that can be classified as intentional, but it takes time to change behavior, you know? And they may have like an internal struggle with themselves, and like it's most people don't change overnight. I don't think that. Tobias Leinhardt always says that successful behavior change often comes before acceptance of the reasoning for it. I think people are more likely to change their principles, change their beliefs if they're already acting in that way. I think if people are already eating a plant-based diet or close to a plant-based diet, they're more likely to think that veganism is a good, like veganism makes sense to them because they're already acting mostly like that. So it wouldn't be that much of a change from that point to label themselves as vegan, as someone who is against animal exploitation, because they're already acting mostly like it. Just behave.
It's a way of not viewing animals as just resources for us to use, right? Not saying you have to view animals and humans as equal, but if you say, oh, I eat meat for, pleasure, which is true for most people and was true for me as well, then what it comes down to is animals' lives versus, 15 minutes of sensory pleasure, right? So keeping in mind how trivial that is, which do you think is more important?
So now that we're talking, obviously I would say that, it's morally better to just not harm anyone. It's always morally better to not sacrifice that for, 15 minutes of a really good, steak at a restaurant.
But I don't know.
I'm not saying I'm not convinced. I think you're completely morally right.
Okay.
It's just it's a process. I'm not there yet.
Sure.
With the process.
Totally. And
The last thing I'm going to say to you, right, is let's say do you eat chickens?
Yes.
Let's say we have 10 chickens here, right? And you say, all right, instead of eating all 10, I'm only going to eat one of them. To that one chicken who has to be forced into a farm where
I like also like what Natalie's doing here, giving examples. Like imagine 10 chickens in front of you. Like really take a second to imagine them. And instead of eating all 10 of them, you say like I'm going to eat just this one. And you pick them out and she's describing the whole process of what happens to that specific chicken. And you can see in the person's like face and general demeanor, like that does hit, like if you make them connect with the individual animal, that really makes a difference, I would say. If the reason for buying an animal product is not habitual, or if there's no fight in your head, but rather you go, it's okay, I'll be vegan soon, maybe the problem is just not understood. Well, that's a different situation, though. That's not what I'm saying. Because most people who just go vegan and they're struggling to give up certain things because they're so like habitualized to them, and they are still looking for good alternatives, and maybe like they're still trying out new vegan cheeses, but they like the cheese they had before. So like maybe like the first week that they go vegan, they try different types of cheeses and they're like, I haven't found it yet, but I really crave that taste for cheese. Even though they know it's wrong and there's exploitation behind it, they might buy that cheese and then say, oh fuck, I bought the cheese. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to keep trying to find a good vegan cheese. And then they keep going, keep trying. And in the end, finally, either find a vegan cheese that they like or just stop eating any cheese altogether. But it's like, it's just finding out what works for you. And intention does matter in this case, in this instance, I would say. But I feel like most people would have that internal struggle at the beginning of going vegan for the first time. It's a process. I'm doing enough by default, so I'll just keep doing me anyway, to my ears at least. What the girl is saying. Yeah, what the girl is saying, it does strike me as like she's not putting enough pressure on herself. I think like a lot of people don't believe that they are capable of big big habit change because it does look intimidating, and that's why they talk themselves down, and that's not what they should be doing, obviously. Um,
They're bred to grow so fast they can't even support their body weight.
Yeah.
The only day they ever see sunlight is the day they get sent to a slaughterhouse
Yeah.
where they're put into an electric shock bath, hung upside down, and a knife is pulled across their throat.
To that specific chicken, doesn't matter that you say, oh, the 9 others, I'm not going to eat them.
Well, like I said, I get your points. I think
Yeah.
you are completely morally right.
Okay, sure.
And I am trying to do better.
Well, I'm going to make it easy for you.
All right.
Because I recognize that before I went vegan, I thought it was this daunting, impossible thing. I was shocked at how easy it was. And
Same. I say this every time. I was so scared when going vegan. I really didn't want to do it, but then I did it, and it was so much easier than I thought. It's talked up to be like, I don't know. Like, it also really depends per person. Like, I know people who experienced it as difficult. I didn't, even though I thought it would be. But it depends per person, I would say. I think it depends if the process is active or passive. If it's passive, then it's not enough. Yeah, so that's more of a case-by-case basis then. Oh, veganism is scary. It's scary. Anyway.
there are resources all on here. I've talked to you a lot about why to do it. This will show you how. There's speeches, there's information. You can get a free vegan mentor.
That's cool. No, this whole setup I think is very cool. Like with the table, with the jerky, with like the hat, the fucking Elwood's dog meat hat, the shirt, the banner like on the corner over there. Super professional setup. Honestly. Very cool. That's the whole point behind Veganuary. Yeah, that is true. I felt deprived the first 2 weeks when I found vegan junk food. Oh, then you found vegan junk food. Yeah. Awesome. Love vegan junk food. Change is a process, and accepting that there is a problem is the first step. Sometime after that, maybe years after, comes the decision to change and then change itself. Yeah. So for people experience this differently. Have you seen my name in the past? What do you mean? Maybe you've seen one of my videos, or you've seen me in other streams, other people's streams or something, or comment sections. I don't know. I know you. I've seen you before. Cry of Fear. I thought I was not going to be able to sustain a plant-based diet because I'm an emotional eater. Turns out I'm totally able to do it. I'm still here almost 3 years in. Well, yeah, I used to be an emotional eater. I'm less of an emotional eater now. But like I used to eat like when I was a teenager. Okay, this is a confession. When I was a teenager, I used to go downstairs to the kitchen in the middle of the night, and just start spooning, like not spooning, but like taking like spoons out of a jar of Nutella. I would eat directly from the jar. And so, some nights it didn't. And then in the morning, my mom would go like, "Oh, what happened to this Nutella? Who ate this Nutella?" And I would always deny. It was never me, but it was. I had a very bad relationship with food, with my body. I don't anymore. But yeah, it's still a funny story. Like just the image of me in the middle of the night, just eating with a spoon out of a jar of Nutella. Oh, I make an awesome vegan high protein Nutella. Send me the recipe, dude. Send me the recipe. Oh, you did that too? I guess we're just two peas in a pod. I just don't think that when people say it's a process, that they mean it. It's more like wonderfully convenient cop-out, so people can be seen as on the same side as the other person. Yeah, I don't think the people actually trying to go vegan should say it's a process. I'm just saying, like, as a vegan looking back, and if, as a vegan looking at other people, and their behavior change and how they've trying to change, it does look like a process to me. But I don't think people should justify it in their heads by saying, "Oh, it's a process." Oh, my baby pictures. I might have one somewhere, but I don't have access to most of my baby pictures because I don't really talk to my parents anymore. So let's see. But I think I might have one picture of like a photo book that I have. Just give me a second. Maybe I can find this. Maybe I can find this. Where is it? No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, I found one where I was 9. That's not a baby picture. It's a very bad quality picture though. Let me just see. Give me a second. Okay. This is me when I was 9. This is just before I hit puberty. And after this, for like 4 years, I had terrible acne, and now my face is good again. So that's what happened. That's me. I looked cute. My mom always forced me to wear dresses at this stage. I was not allowed to wear pants. I always wore dresses like this. This is not just a church outfit. I looked like this all the time. I was always forced to wear a headband. I could not really wear my hair up unless it was for sports. But yeah. Why is the lighting so terrible? Oh, that's better. No glasses? No, that was just before I got my glasses, actually. I got my glasses at like 10 for the first time. So yeah. Did I have another picture? I feel like I had another picture somewhere. I don't know. Cute. Baby Christina. Just needs a little sailor hat. Que mona. Ay, gracias. Bueno. I had another cute picture. I don't know if I have it still. Maybe I have it in my starred messages somewhere. I must have sent it to someone before. I really don't know. Just, I wish I had some hold music that I could put on, but I don't. So you're just gonna have to sit in silence. God. What are people saying? You are the one that called me a random sentence generator. When did I do that? Wait, I did? When? I called you a random sentence generator? I vaguely remember that, but I don't know what the context was at all. I called you a last brain cell. That's a compliment. That's not an insult. That's a compliment. During the debate with vegan gays. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, now I remember. I think that's, yeah. No, that makes sense. I vaguely remember that. Come on, I need to be able to find this picture, this goddamn picture. Oh my god, this is very upsetting, guys. I really, really, really want to find this picture. I mean, if they're trying to assimilate themselves by saying it, I personally would have zero faith in that being effective, because to me it's lip service only. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see that, but come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. It's quiet. I'm sorry I'm so quiet. I just need to find this. I think I was like, how old was I? 6? Oh, finally, we got it. So this is a picture I took of a picture that's framed in my parents' house. It's probably the color grading is horrible. It's so yellow because of the light and my bad camera, but this is essentially me and my little brother on top of me crushing me. Just crushing me. And that's me. Look at how cute I was. This is such a downgrade, right? I will never be as cute as I used to be. I think I was probably like 5 years old here. I think. Yeah. My brother's just disappearing into the light because it's all yellow. I'm so sorry. My brother used to be much cuter. Now he's kind of a dick. Just a little bit. Unfortunately, he's got a big cranium. Well, I just commented, I recommend everyone watching the Katie Hopkins song from Christina Von Pink. But yeah, well, maybe we can get it to hit 3,000 views, guys. That would be fun. That'd be cool. I looked like Britney Spears? This looks like Britney Spears. What do you mean this looks like Britney Spears? I don't look like Britney Spears. But like, see, this is another iconic bow that I had to wear on my head. It's another explosion from outside, anyway. What do you mean I look like, oh, the hair? What? That doesn't look like Britney Spears at all. Wait, young Britney Spears. Let me just look up a picture. I don't see it. I really don't. I really do not see it. Hit me, baby, one more time. Hey, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. The smile, I was barely smiling in that picture, I think. Okay, everyone says I look, I'll take it as a compliment. Okay, Britney Spears is hot. And I'm sorry for everything that she had to go through. But she looks good. And I mean, I don't wish I looked like her. I'm satisfied with the way I look, but I don't I really don't think I look like Britney Spears. That's crazy. Did your brother go on a mission? No, he did not. Actually, my brother left the church as well, but for different reasons than me. He just doesn't believe in God. And I left also because of church history reasons, and that I believe the church is just generally harmful as an institution, and also is hoarding way too much money, as in like $150 billion that they are investing in real estate and whatever, like Fortune 500 companies, just to make more money instead of actually helping people, you know? So I do have a certain like grudge against the church. He doesn't. He still goes to events like dances or something sometimes, but he's still just as conservative and right-wing as he was before. He is pretty, transphobic. He follows Ben Shapiro, Andrew Tate, the usual people, commentators. So we're not really great. We're not really on great terms, but that's not a surprise to anyone here, I would say. Christina Spears. Actually, this is really weird. I used to get bullied and I got like different insults thrown at me. Some people would make fun of me by comparing me to Christina Aguilera. They would literally just walk by me like, "Oh, hi, Christina Aguilera," and like, like it's like, and it would hurt me. Like it genuinely hurt me. But now I look back and I'm like, dude, her singing, her vocals are amazing. I wish I could riff like her. I wish I could belt like her, but I can't. Like that's such a good compliment. Anyway, Are you the only vegan in your family currently? Yes, I am. My sister is vegetarian, but no one is vegan. Even have the same voice? Guys, okay, first, I look like Britney Spears. Now I have the same voice as her and accent. I guess my accent is like generic American US. I don't know. I just picked this up for some reason when I was a teenager, but that's just my accent. I guess. Well, I'll just rename my channel to Christina Spears, I guess. That's what we're doing. Religion is truly the biggest scam. It really, really, truly is. I'm a vegan in a bottle. You better rub me the right way. If you want to be vegan, better eat no animal products. I'm a vegan in a bottle. I need to do her voice. Okay, I'm gonna try to do her voice. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, babe. I can't do it. I can't do the baby voice. I could try again. Wait. I have to listen to it actually. Maybe. I do know what it sounds like, but it's hard to do, you know? Oh, babe. That's too no, it's still too low. There's like a kind of vocal what is it? Oh, fuck. I forgot the word for it. It'll come to me. Thank you. I do sing, so that's why. Christina Aguilera was a taunt? What is a taunt? What the fuck is a taunt? Never heard of that word in my life. Oh, I know what it is. Never mind. I do know this word. Like an insult. Yeah, it was used as an insult because these kids did not know anything about Christina Aguilera. They just thought her name is similar to mine, so they just used it and said it in a mocking tone, and you know. Oh my god, my feet are similar to hers too. How do you know? Have you been stalking me, Nilf? Have you been asking people for feet pics? That is not appropriate. Okay? I do not condone that. Oh, baby carrots. Oh, that's a great one. You gotta stop the sound before it reaches the throat. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like a vocal, it's not a grit. It's like the, it's that effect. I know the word for this, but I fucking forgot it. Oh my god. It's not rasp. I can't think of it. It's not vibrato. No, it's not vibrato. Vibrato is like, oh. That was also really bad vibrato, by the way, but it's just like the note vibrates. That's why it's called vibrato. That's really close. No, it's not. Listen to Brittany yourself, and then listen to me again. That's not what Brittany sounds like. I know what Brittany sounds like. How did we get to feet already? I went to the bathroom, now we're talking feet. That was Nilf's fault. Okay? Yes, vocal fry. That's it. It's like this effect. Oh, baby. I still can't do it. By the way, do you think I might get copyright stricken for even singing this at all? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try it with. I need to listen to her once and then try to imitate it. I don't know if that's gonna work. At school, the bullies called me Elton John because of my glasses. My glasses weren't even fabulous, so I don't know what that was about. That's so funny. Oh my god. I wish I had glasses as fabulous as Elton John. I wish. Come on. Okay, you can hear. I'm probably gonna get copyright. It's like, oh, baby, baby. I feel like it sounds too southern when I do it. Oh, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby. How was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, baby, baby. I shouldn't have let you go. I can't do the riff. I can't do that riff. I shouldn't have let you go. Too low. And now we're out of sight here. Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now, because my loneliness is killing me. Now I'm gonna keep singing it until the song is done. Without even vocally warming up. Impressive. Yeah, I don't really do a vocal warm-up ever. Probably not the best idea or something. But it's like I do when I have to belt, I do a vocal warm up. I'm just not doing it now because you guys asked me to sing, and I'm gonna sing for you because it's, if you say dance monkey dance, monkey is gonna dance. You know what I mean? Was she actually singing all the crickets into that song? No, actually, everything, like her voice, it's what that sounds like. If you ever listened to her live, that's what she made her voice to sound like. Even though if you've listened to Britney Spears, like before she became famous, and she was singing like very belty, like much lower range songs, I can show you an example, but it's really cool. Britney Spears young singing. This is the wait, where is it? I think that's the clip I saw. Not entirely sure. Can you do the indie lisp? I don't know exactly what you're talking about. I have an idea, but the indie lisp. I don't think I have the indie lisp. Can you give an example of a song where that is used? Can you hear this? No, that's not it. Can I? No. That fucking growl, that's insane. How old was she here? 10. She was 10 years old and she was doing a growl. That's crazy. And I. Sorry. Like I was working on my growl, and it's tough. It's tough to do because you really need to set up your vocal cords for it. And she was just doing it. Like, that's crazy. Christina, do more songs. That's why that video was popular. But the thing is, I feel like I don't know. I feel like if vegan parody songs, they're all similar because it all comes down to the same subject matter. I feel like that would get boring quickly. That's kind of my concern. I never thought that a vegan live stream would lead to Britney Spears. Hey, no disrespect to Britney. She's amazing. She is talented. She deserves everything. Oh, that's what you mean, Olivia Rodrigo. I could hear it in driver's license a bit, like, I got my driver's license last week, like we always used to do. Like, you sing with the smallest amount of motivation to be understood. It's like that's what we mean with lisp. Like, it's barely understandable because you're slurring the words, and also it sounds kind of pretentious in the way that you want to sound deep. Covers of popular songs forbidden to have a vegan message. I made one that I might still upload. So a friend and I, we wrote a parody of "I Want It That Way," but changed it to "I Want It Plant Based." And let me. I remember the chorus. It's like, "No animal should be raped. Gassing pigs is such a big mistake. I just want everyone to say, I want it plant-based." That was not the right key at all, but you get the idea. We always used to get our driver's license last week, right? I haven't even gotten my driver's license, so I don't relate. But yeah. An earlier generation sounded pretentious by hyper-articulating. Fiona Apple. I don't think I've listened to Fiona Apple at all, but I've heard a lot about her. I don't know what kind of music she makes. Let me just quickly look that up. I need to be up to date on my music history. That's what I'm studying. Oh, interesting. I don't think I know any of her songs. But yeah, cool. I'll check her out. Music history. No, just generally. Everything is technically music history. Like, music that came out 10 years ago is music history. You know what I mean? Actually, I want to show you guys a cool thing. Maybe I can find this. Give me a second. So they showed us this in class. Like when I was doing we were doing, I think, history of popular music, which was like from 1920s like jazz until pop music now, with like the rock as well in between. And it's a really cool website that anyone can go check out. It deals with the history of music genres. Let me see. This is what it looks like at first, right? It looks like a bar graph. That looks weird, right? Is Justin Bieber part of music history? Yes, it is. Yes, he is. But once you see all these genres, you see pop, country, rhythm and blues, blues, jazz, Jamaican rap, breakbeat, drum and bass, hardcore, and like they're color coded as well. You've got world music, classical music, folk. Once you zoom in, it becomes this web of genres. And this is really cool. So let's zoom in, shall we? We got, so this is also in terms of timeline. Let's see where we can start. We've got metal. So here, for those of you familiar with metal, this is like a map of metal. And there's lines to like other genres that are related. There's crossover into punk, hardcore over here, indie rock over here, post-rock, post-grunge, emo rock, Britpop. Really cool. Let's say, for example, this. I've never heard of crossover thrash. What is, and it shows the whole line of what genres or what genre it originated from, what genres took inspiration from this. And then you can click on it. You get it like a concise history of that specific genre. Original hardcore rapidly splintered into many important subgenres after its rise: the melodic mellowcore, the ruthless power violence, the punk fusions, crust punk, and discore. Like, these are all things I've never heard before. But it's really cool. And then it gives you like 10 songs from that genre. Like, this is amazing. Like, this database is super cool. I really, really love this. What else do we have? We've got Euro disco. We've got urban country. We've got Asian pop, dance pop. What else? I don't know. I just love this. Tell me if you guys are bored by this, but I think it's really cool. We've got jazz, acid jazz, smooth jazz, fusion, jazz and rock, Texas blues rock, and modern electric. Like, these are so specific. Katie Hopkins, she's not on the map. Is trip hop on there? I could try to look it up. Give me a second. Trip hop. Nope, it is not on there. But let me check. Oh, this is the rap. Okay, we've got old school rap pioneers, which come from reggae and early funk. And it's also from, I think it splinters into electro later on. We've got the golden age of rap, gangster rap, reggaeton and Latin rap, trap and drill. Like you could look through this for like hours. Future bass and future garage. What is that? So this is like 2009. So this is quite recent. If you would imagine that the future of UK garage would sound like, you probably wouldn't deviate too much from future garage. Defying, hyper eclectic, hard to define. These are all the examples. Cashmere cat, Manila Killa. Like, look at these. That's fun. Just wanted to show you. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, pretty cool. Like, we had to pick one of these hyper specific genres and write a paper on it. That was one of the assignments like 2 years ago. Pretty cool. Because for those of you who don't know, I study musicology. How cool, right? Anyway, I've gotten completely off track. I wonder where Peaches falls on that graph. I don't think it's that up to date. I think it probably quits around like 2012 or something. Not entirely sure. Katie Hopkins is a genre of poetry where you have to say Holocaust 10 times. What did I write my paper on? I don't remember. I think it was a kind of jazz, because we did have a list of genres we could choose from. I think it was a type of jazz. I don't remember what it was. Maybe I could find it. I'm gonna look through my Google Docs, I guess. Like, I forget about all the papers that I write immediately after writing them, to be honest. I don't like writing papers. It is boring. It is a waste of time most of the time. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think I have it here. Or do I? Oh, no, actually, I have it. No, I wrote it about hard rock. About the history of hard rock. Interesting. It was a very short paper that we had to turn in. We had to write like a summary, basically. It had to be very concise. That makes sense. And as examples, I gave Steppenwolf, AC/DC, Aerosmith, The Who, and I added Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Peaches. I haven't listened to Peaches in years. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. I don't. This mic is not made for singing. Like, if I sing too loud, it will definitely override. Or what's the word for that? I don't know what it is. Jeremy, I'm the only one who never heard her talk. I think just had no interest in subjecting myself to it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did. I'm sorry. Now you're talking. Old school music. Yeah. Right. I used to have, like, I went through this phase in high school where I basically only listened to Black Sabbath. So I think Black Sabbath, I think I would mostly classify Black Sabbath under hard rock, although some of their songs could fall under like early metal. I think they were one of the first ones to actually make metal music. But genres, like, the thing is, like, you can define them all you want, but it's still like putting labels on something that's not really well defined. You know, and a song and an artist can fit in many different genres and to be a genre of their own. Depends on who's to say, you know. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway, I feel like the energy is dying down a bit. I don't have much to say. Should we close the stream down, guys? Think maybe it's been long enough. You feel old. This is music from my youth. Music from my youth? So I was born in 2003. My youth was like music from like Kesha. Kesha is my youth. 2009 Kesha, 2011 Katy Perry, like even like Taylor Swift around that time, even though she's still active. What else? I did listen to Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne was kind of my youth. What else? What else? I don't remember. I don't know. 2003? Yeah, 2003, if you can believe it. Yep. I'm not gonna that video is too long for me to react to now. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Oh, Vegan Postmortem says, I'm on my way to bed, so the stream must stop. Okay. If you say so, I'll listen to you. You listen to lots of old music. Like what? Give us an example. And there was also a time in high school where I was, like, aside from the Black Sabbath phase, I was also a phase that was really into Bobby Darin. If you don't know Bobby Darin, he's like this, he was this, like, very interesting musician, like, singer, more like, I don't think he wrote his own songs, but singer from the 50s. I really liked his stuff. He has this song called Splish Splash that I used to sing with my siblings, like, Splish Splash, I was taking a bath all along Saturday night. Love that. But he also made like Beyond the Sea that was his. Mac the Knife. I really like Mac the Knife. That's good. But then like it was interesting how his career shifted from like 50s rock and then to jazz, then to folk music. Because he was active in the music sphere until like the 70s, even early 80s, I think. Yeah, interesting dude. Interesting guy. I thought you were older than me. Yeah, well, I get that a lot. People guess that I'm older, but I'm not. How old are you? Avril Lavigne is awesome. I remember listening to it while strolling around in San Andreas. San Andreas, like the place, or like the GTA thing? The GTA San Andreas. I think that's a specific game, right? Am I right? I don't know. Yeah, Avril Lavigne, like. I'm trying to sing a song from hers off the top of my head. I know Skater Boy. He was a skater boy. She said, see you later, boy. She wasn't good enough for her. I don't know the lyrics. Power to the corn. Oh, Mike is here. He's back. You were born in 2003 too. Right, okay. On the 5th of December. Or do you say day, month, year, or month, day, year? Because I would read this as the 5th of December, but it could be the 12th of May. Yeah, May. I was born on the 10th of November. 10th of November, which was a Monday, 2003. I'm a Scorpio. Scorpio with a Taurus moon or whatever. I don't care about horoscopes or astrology. Your boy's turning 30 this year. That's a big milestone. Are you going to listen to Turning 30 by Bo Burnham? Please tell me you know Turning 30 by Bo Burnham. I'm going to listen to that when I turn 30. Y'all so darn young. Yeah, we're the future, right? The young people are the future. I'm the future, apparently. Even though I'm here in the present, but I'm the future, I guess. Why is that a yikes? No, don't say yikes. That's unfair. I have no control over when I am born, okay? I didn't ask to be, okay, Martin? Don't do this. Don't do this. Young people are the future old people. I think that's what they mean to say. Yeah. I don't know. 36 is young to someone turning 59 this year. Damn, 59. Not 69, unfortunately. 59. But you'll get there. Only 10 years. Yeah, we can bridge generational gaps. Exactly. This is multi-generational. This channel, the vegan community, multi-generational. All right? We've been vegan since 1969. It was the summer of 69. Was it? You are 69. Are you 69? Oh my god, that's really cool. If you was older, I'd be making fun of you. Would you? We're the same age, Kane. So, yeah, if you make fun of me, you're making fun of yourself. So that is not really productive, is it? 10 years go so quickly these years. 10 years ago, I was 10. And 10 years before that, I did not exist. So, that's weird, right? That's, yeah. Mm-hmm. 69 in June. Oh, happy preemptive birthday. Ugh. I drink so that the bottles tell me how many days have passed. Oh, right. So every day you drink a bottle and then you count the bottles at the end of the year and you say like, yeah, that was a year. I should do some call-ins on these streams, Christina. I've been thinking about it. I just don't know what to talk about. Like maybe if I should have like just a plan. Like I know that Vegan Power Lab and Vegan for Kindness and I are planning to do like a group live stream like every 2 weeks or something just to hang out and have fun, spread some positivity and joy. Because the last time we did on their channels, it was unhinged and it was super fun and we exchanged crazy stories. You should go watch that because that was amazing. But yeah, no, sounds fun. Sounds fun. It depresses me to hear people refer to 80s or 90s music as classical. No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. 80s and 90s music is still popular music because it was popular at the time, right? It's still pop music technically. And it can be rock, it can be punk, all these things, but it's not classical. Because if you're being really strict about musical genres, classical means like it refers to the period when Mozart was alive specifically. So that's like the 1600s. No, not the 1600s. Give me a second. 1700s. I think 1700 to 1750, or was that the Baroque period? No, Baroque period was 1600 to 1600 something. I did not brush up on my music theory. I'm sorry. I know that the Romantic period for music was until like 1890 and it started 1830 or something, and before that was a classical period, so it must have started like midway the 1700s. Don't take my word on it, but that's just my case to say 80s and 90s music is not classical by any definition of that word. It's just not. It's not. 2012 is 12 years old this year. Yeah, that's my sister actually. She's turning 12 this year. Every 69 seconds an orgasm happens in Africa. Well, isn't that fun? That's good for them, right? Oh no, this is wrong. This is wrong, guys. Also count time by levels in D&D campaigns. I have played D&D. I think I've played like 3 times in my life. Not 3 campaigns, but like 3 sessions I've played. I think I did like a couple. I think I did 2 of them when with like people that I knew from church when I was like 16. And they had this whole setup and they had like a whole like a model of the terrain we would be playing on. It was really cool, like a map, but with like physical, like it was a physical set. And that was really cool. Anyway, I don't play it anymore. I'm not good at improv. I would be open to trying to do it again just for fun, but I just don't think I have the time. It takes so long. It takes like fucking hours per session. Insane. Insane. Period plus style. But there's neoclassical, everything sounding like Mozart and co, but composed nowadays. Neoclassical is a specific that was actually early 1900s. Let me check. Neoclassical was right after the Romantic period, if I'm not sure. If you're talking not in architecture, I mean in music, because the periods you need to be when you look at art history, there's different history like periods for music and for other art like painting and stuff. Anyway, yeah, neoclassicism in music is a 20th century trend in the interwar period. So basically, between the First and the Second World War, in which composers sought to return to aesthetic precepts associated with the broadly defined concept of classicism, namely order, balance, clarity, economy, and emotional restraint. And so that was mostly in the first half of the 20th century, not what is happening now, I would say. A vegan playing D&D would just make things about veganism. It would be really cool to have like an animal liberation D&D campaign. I've never really thought about that, but that's really cool. Have a great afternoon, Kenny. There are two types of music that does but-ups and music that doesn't. It's very simplistic, Mike. Very simplistic. Am I the only one who barely knows about music? I mean, I know some chords on the guitar and the piano, but when I listen to everything. Rap, pop, rock, classical, and all. I mean, most people don't know much about like music theory, music history, how music genres relate to each other, how most music past the most music past the 19th century has been stolen from people of color. That was kind of glossed over in my music history classes. Like, oh right, Black people did this first, but then white people made it popular. So they technically they pioneered it, but they didn't. They didn't. Just like with Elvis. Elvis is the very obvious example that he took Black music, made it palatable to a white audience, and marketed as his own. And that's not great, obviously, but it has happened. Now it's happening. I don't know if it's happening anymore. I think rap is pretty obviously still a colored genre, although it's diversifying, not in a negative way, as in like a taking credit way, but more of a positive way. Music sounds good. My body shakes. I love it. Your body shakes? Like literally? I love getting chills from music. I love listening to people sing and be like, fuck. Yeah, but I often find myself like trying to analyze the music while I'm listening to it, so I find it hard to just enjoy it sometimes. That's also the reason that I can't have sex with music playing, because I will just be focused on the music. If I know the song, I will be singing along. If I don't know the song, I'll be thinking, what artist is this? When did this come out? What is he singing? Or like I'll be thinking about either the vocal technique that is used or the chord progression that is used and the fucking harmonic structures or whatever. So it's not a good recipe for good intimacy and connection, I would say. So I steer away from that. Body shakes is dancing. Oh, it's dancing, right? Your grandparents stole from my grandparents, so now I'm going to steal it back, you pale-skinned devils. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. What? I'm sitting cross-legged on my chair, and I just realized that there's a hole in my pants. Like, on the bottom. Like, I can't really show it from here, but like, near the bottom of the leg. Fuck, but I bought these pants like 2 weeks ago. That's so sad. That's upsetting. That's upsetting. Music is an important part of life. Yes, it is. It's a connective tissue in communities, in society. It has a very large influence in our psychology, the way we perceive things, the way it's used in marketing, the way it's used in other types of media. Really interesting. That's what music without lyrics is for. Sorry, I have to do the. If you give me a dab emoji, I have to dab according to it. You've simply upgraded your grunge style. It's not my intention. But good night. Good night, Vegan Postmortem. Hope to see you. I'll see if I can make it to your stream. Everyone else, Vegan Postmortem is going to have her 4th stream discussing formal logic. If you're interested in that, go over to her channel. Check that out tomorrow. Dab on these haters. There's no haters here, but yeah, quite cool. Anyway, I think I'll tap out then as well. It's been 2.5 hours. I think that's a good amount of streaming for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. There's always the possibility to tip me. There's like a highlighted comment that has a link to my donation page. B12 deficient pants. They gave up on life. Sometimes pants just don't want to be pants. You know, they identify as something as not pants. They identify as non-pants. See? I go, you go. Yeah, I go. No, you go, I go. Exactly. Yu-Gi-Oh? No, that's wrong. Anyway, thank you so much for being here and watching me for 2 hours. Don't forget to like the video, as Mike says. Love to everyone here. I guess Christina Spears is my new nickname. Thank you so much, I guess. I don't see it. I still don't see it. But thank you. And thank you. You're welcome that I entertained you while washing the dishes, okay? You're welcome. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.